In 2015, the State Archives of North Carolina embarked on an initiative to revamp the retention and disposition schedules of state agencies to reflect better how state government creates and stores records in the 21st century. After researching other states' practices and current records management literature, the State Archives focused our work on developing functional schedules. We embarked on this initiative with the intent to simplify and improve the scheduling of records for state agencies. This training module will provide a brief overview of this process. Since 1935, the State Archives of North Carolina has conducted a records management program that assists state and local officials in the management and disposition of their government records. Authority for this program is granted to the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources, or DNCR, through the Archives and History Act, GS 121, and the Public Records Act, GS 132. General Statute 121 assigns DNCR the duty to conduct a records management program, and Section 5 of this law goes on to say, no person may destroy, sell, loan, or otherwise dispose of any public record without the consent of the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources. General Statute 132 requires public agencies to work with DNCR in the creation of record schedules that establish a time period for the retention or disposal of each series of records. These retention and disposition schedules provide government agencies the legal permission to dispose of their public records. Functional schedules are based on a methodology for appraising records called functional analysis. Our primary motivating factors were 1. A need to address growing volumes of records in state agencies, both paper and especially electronic formats. 2. A desire to develop a methodology independent of the ever-changing organizational structures of state government. And 3. A request to organize records into quote-unquote big buckets, or more encompassing record series that will facilitate their management and ultimate disposition when stored in document management systems. Functional analysis focuses on 2 issues: identifying the core functions of the agency, which we completed at the beginning of this initiative, and identifying the records that are created or received and document those core functions. After completing the agency functional analyses in the spring of 2016, we generated a list of the 16 primary functions of state government in North Carolina. We then investigated the records that are created and received in the process of carrying out these functions and drafted schedules for each function. All of these schedules were reviewed by expert stakeholders as well as staff at the State Archives. After revisions, these schedules were posted to our blog for further review and comments. Records analysts then conduct a usability test of these schedules as they assisted agencies in identifying their records on the new schedules. These new schedules incorporate the general functions of all state government agencies, as well as the more specific functions that may be less common. Since 2000, administrative, budget, IT, and personnel records have been addressed in the general schedule for state agency records. These functions can be seen in the above list of primary functions of state government as agency management, asset management, financial management, human resources, and information technology. The remaining 11 functions represent work that is the responsibility of one or more state agencies. For instance, the Department of Health and Human Services, the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, and the Department of Public Safety provide health care. In a separate module, I will go through each of these functions individually, explaining its scope and listing its subsections. I'll also provide several examples of record types within each subsection. Be aware that each agency will be allowed to determine which functions are relevant for the work being done by that agency. In all likelihood, most agencies will have records from these functions: agency management, asset management, financial management, human resources, information technology, legal, public relations, and risk management. The remaining functions may be added depending on the work required of the agency. If you would like more information about this functional analysis initiative, visit our blog at ncrecords.wordpress.com and click on the rightmost tab. If you have any specific questions about the functional schedules, you may contact Becky McGee Langford, head of the Government Records section, Courtney Bailey, project lead for functional schedules, or the records analyst assigned to your agency, whose name you can find on our website. We thank you for taking the time to view this tutorial and look forward to working with you to implement this exciting initiative.